Building up on the defensive third. Team tactical principles on attacking, spreading out, utilize space and triangulate, pass or dribble forward when possible. For this presentation, we're going to talk specifically about the roles of the back four line, including the goalkeeper, players number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, along with the connection between the center midfielders, which are 6, 8, and 10. At all times, please understand that this is our defensive shape. It is compact, it is connected, minimizing the distance between our players and the gaps, making them smaller. But once we acquire the ball, now we have an attacking spread out shape. As a point of reference, we can also say that we're trying to create some type of arch, some type of crescent between the back four line and the goalkeeper as well. Let's put into perspective. If we do not spread out, if our team is compact when we have the ball, if we don't use the entire field to our advantage, it's almost like not giving enough room for the center midfielders to move around. It's almost like they're claustrophobic and they're not able to get into the spaces needed in order to receive the ball as passing options. Now imagine we have opponents or defenders added to the mix in the field. Their openings are smaller because we are pretty much putting a compact shape in our team in our spacing on the field. Opponents are compact and connected. We are numbered every situation 1v2 or 2v3, and there's less time or space to control the ball without pressure. What we mean about their openings or their gaps are smaller since we are compact as well. They are also compact as well. The distance between each of their defenders is less. Every time we pass the ball to one side of the field, it will not take a whole lot of time for them to get there, and as well, they wouldn't need to run a whole lot. Even if we attempt to pass the ball forward, it is so congested and clogged up in the midfield that there are defenders coming from every situation once there is a pass performed to one of our center midfielders. So now let's imagine if we acquire more of a distance or a spread out shape. Now there is a bigger arch or a bigger circle surrounding the center midfielders. They have a whole bunch more space now to triangulate with different passing options and therefore move around more freely towards the midfield. Let's say now we have the ball, one of our center backs has the ball, and we are attempting to distribute it towards the field, towards the side of the field that is specifically moving. If the player that passes the ball, number 5, passes the ball to our outside back, number 3, and it just stays there, we must be able to create something called depth. Depth is vertical. How can we make the arch bigger? And why is that important? How can we see more of the field? Why is that important? How can we get away from pressure? All these questions will be connected with what your job is to be to do on the field. And of course, if we do not have enough depth as a passing option there, if player number 5 stays and player number 4 stays there, their distance between the defenders is less. It's 12 yards or 8 yards. Meaning that if we do not have a option going forward, number 3 is trying to go back because there's too many people on the left side of the field. The angle of the pass is too narrow, too close to the defender, and there's pressure is too close to the back line. If we pass it, they will immediately be on put on pressure and therefore more likely lose the ball or force a decision making that would clear it and therefore lose possession as well. Now, if we provide a better angle immediately after the pass is done, you provide enough depth. Now we have 20 yards away from the defender, or 12 yards away from the defender. There's a better angle of passing. It's away from the defender, and the depth of the back line now gives more time space to receive the ball. There's a safer route to switch the field. It's away from opponent's pressure. And we can start looking for the open space on the opposite side of the field where there's less pressure. In this particular moment, it's a throw-in from the outside back number 2 to center back number 4. As soon as the throw-in is made, the opposite center back number 5 is already given depth by backpedaling, making the arch bigger. When the pass is given, immediately the center back offers more depth, and he also backs up in order to make the arch bigger and to see more of the field. Throughout this moment as well, we can notice that the holding midfielder number 6 is utilizing the space and triangulating, making sure he gets between the center backs to give more room and space to the other center midfielders, number 8 and number 10, and the more advanced position of the field. Even if there is no passing option for number 6, he wishes to move the ball forward immediately after the pass is done to the outside back number 3. Number 5 backpedals as quickly as possible to create another passing option and to get away from pressure. The ball is played forward. Same situation, but now let's say that the opponents are at too advanced in the field and they want to overcommit and they're putting high pressure on us. There is some sort of advantage with this. If they become too advanced and they are putting high pressure, they are overcommitting. So essentially, there are smaller space vertically between each of the lines. Between the back 4 line and the midfielders is 10 yards. Between the midfielders 6 and 8 and 10, there's 18 yards, and then 10 yards between number 10 and the wingers. So at this rate, midfielders are able to peel off and play forward as available. And we're able to exploit the space on the midfield and move and penetrate down the field a lot quicker with a lot more options. Now that we've attempted to move forward, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 players versus 6 other players going forward to the ball. We are outnumbering them based on their decisions and our ability to use the space to our advantage. So just remember, team tactical principles of attacking are to spread out, utilize space and triangulate, and pass or dribble forward when possible, especially if they are overcommitting.